I think Mamdani is very similar to Zelensky, actually. You know, he's a failed actor. He is a failed rapper. He's never really held a job. He doesn't want to build a coalition, but he's in a desperate situation because he desperately needs federal money. He's not even a lifelong United States of America. Donald Trump will be successfully schooling him and giving him an education on exactly how New York runs.
Ding, 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 ding. Seconds out. The Oval Office turns into the world's most exclusive boxing ring. On one side, Donald Trump, billionaire bruiser, master of the political knockout. And in the red corner, Mamdani, the socialist firebrand from Queens and the mayor-elect of New York City. Trump's already out swinging in the pre-match sledging, calling Mamdani a 100% communist lunatic. Quite hard to come back from that, and warning that New Yorkers have their zero chance of success in their city. Still with me is Freddie Hayward of the New Statesman and Republican strategist Selip. But first, let's speak to the host of the Tudor Dixon podcast, Tudor Dixon, former gubernatorial candidate. I can't remember where you stood though, but it's written in my notes, but it's not on the auto cue. I'm sorry about that. Welcome to Harry Cole Saves the West. Tudor, this is going to be a hell of a moment, right? It's going to be, you know, two of the biggest names on the political sphere coming together. Last time we saw a sort of massive dust-up in the Oval Office, it was Zelensky and Trump back last February. Do you think we're going to see similar fireworks today, or is it going to be a sort of game respects game and then could turn into a weird capitalist communist loving? I'm told it's Michigan. I'm sorry, it was Michigan. I knew it was in there somewhere.
Michigan, that's right, yes. I think Mamdani is very similar to Zelensky, actually. You know, he's a failed actor. He is a failed rapper. He's never really held a job. He was a failed assemblyman. He never showed up for votes. So now he's kind of like the dog that caught the car. You know, I think he doesn't really know what to do now. He came out and made this statement, my team reached out and set up this meeting. So are you not owning it? Are you not owning that you're going to visit the President of the United States, that the entire time you were running, you said you'd never deal with him, you'd never talk with him. Now he's going to go in, and it's going to be very interesting because here is a guy who says he can run the city of New York, going in to sit down with someone who's been very intimately involved in building the city of New York. Donald Trump is not going to be stumped by anything. He knows every law. He knows everything about public transit. He knows everything about building there. He knows everything about the police in New York City. He is going in, Mamdani is going in unprepared for who his opponent is. And he really is going in treating him as an opponent. He's not going in there as a team member. He doesn't want to build a coalition, but he's in a desperate situation because he desperately needs federal money. He's already begging people for money right now. He's begging them for $4 million for his transition team. He's like Gretchen Whitmer. Do you remember when Gretchen Whitmer went in with the folder over her face?
Yeah.
I think that's what we're going to see rather than Zelensky. I don't think Mamdani knows what he's getting into.
Do you think there's any movement for Donald Trump to withdraw his threat from providing federal funding to New York? The guy won, you know, fairly comprehensively, just about scraped 50% of the vote. You know, he was fair and squarely elected. Do you not think the president looks a little bit like, you know, sour grapes if he continues to threatened to basically punish New Yorkers for the way they voted?
Donald Trump is a master at reading the other person in the room. It's very hard to sit down with Donald Trump and come out without him having analyzed you and figured out exactly how he's going to get what he wants. My dad used to call this type of negotiating rabbits and elephants. You want to make sure you give away your rabbits and keep your elephants. Donald Trump is a master at this. So whatever he decides, he's going to get exactly what he wants, and he's going to make sure New York has exactly what he wants New York to have. You know, he's a big talker. He wants to throw something out there when he wants to make a splash, but ultimately he makes sure that it is as safe and as protected as he can make it when he's trying not to allow a communist to really get any more of a foothold in the country. And to be honest, we have to prepare against these people. We've got this happening in Seattle. We've got this happening in New York. He's certainly not going to help him to achieve his plans of stealing from the people who have built that city. So I think that Donald Trump will be well prepared to make sure he gets exactly what he wants.
Doesn't this actually kind of work out quite nicely for both of these politicians? Donald Trump can basically anoint under the great gold dome that is now the Oval Office. He can basically anoint said communist, as you put it, as Caroline Levitt put it today, and as Trump put it himself, this communist leader. Look at the face of the New Democrats. They're so hard left. If you can sort of make him the poster boy, make him the poster boy of the left, and Mamdani gets what he wants as well. It's just a little bit of knockabout, a bit of boo-hoo. I went down to Washington and put on my skinny tie and stuck it to the man. They both got to. This is theatre for both of them, isn't it?
Rarely does a Democrat walk out of the Oval Office feeling like they've gotten what they've wanted. I mean, Gretchen Whitmer was quite humiliated.
Chuck Schumer certainly didn't, because we walked out with a Trump 2028 hat last time he was in there, I think. But I mean, to Mamdani's base, a little dust up with Donald Trump doesn't do him any harm at all, does it?
No, I mean, if he goes in there and he tries to play the role of he's fighting, he's already behind the 8 ball, though. I mean, even the way he announced this, he didn't announce it as, I'm going in there to fight with him. Talk about a pathetic way of saying, well, my team set it up. I mean, this is not a leader. This is not somebody who's ready to go into the arena. You know from the way someone postures, from the way someone makes an announcement like this, whether or not they're going in there in a power position or they're going in there cowering. And he's literally saying, I had a girl in the back office who just happened to set this up for me. I've got no other choice but to head in.
For Donald Trump, though, on the other side, we'll leave Mamdani alone for now. I suspect he's going to get enough of a beating up without us sharpening our blows now. But for Trump, this does come at a tricky time, doesn't it? He kind of needs a bit of politics. The Republicans had a bit of a rough old ride with their elections 2-3 weeks ago. Donald Trump's polling is not great, according to the latest poll in Fox last night. He had J.D. Vance out this morning calling for patience and calling for a bit of a truce in the MAGA wars. The sort of base, the movement that elected Donald Trump, he says 3 times, everyone else says twice, it is fragmenting now, and actually he does kind of need some red meat and something to sort of bring his fans together, who seem to spend the entire time bickering about Israel or the price of eggs or the direction of American foreign policy, or whether they should be platforming Nazis on the Tucker Carlson show. It feels to me like this could be a reset moment for the president.
I think he loves the idea of having him come to the Oval Office. I do think he truly enjoys the art of negotiation. He enjoys showing that he has the ability to have these conversations. And ultimately, his goal, as you pointed out, is not to punish New York. He would gladly teach Mamdani what he doesn't know and prove to the world that he can take someone who has been flitting around and saying he's this great socialist and he's going to give everything out to everyone for free. He would gladly school him in front of the entire country and in front of the entire world and take the credit for it.
Stay there, Tudor. I'm going to bring in our other guest, Freddie Hayward from the New Statesman, Selip, Republican strategist. Sarah, Donald Trump needs an easy win here, doesn't he? He needs a bit of red meat, as I was just saying to Tudor there. He's going to have to take some swings of the bat, isn't he?
Right. So one of the things that I really like about this is that it's a preview for America 250, right? It's basically UFC with Trump in the ring. But that being said, whoever wrote this script, if it's you, good job. But called Trump the billionaire brawler, left out the fact that Mamdani is a billionaire Nepo baby.
I'm not sure he's quite a billionaire, is he?
His mom's apparently an Indian billionaire.
I think she was a successful film director.
I cannot trust social.
I'll give you a Nepo baby there.
Okay, so Nepo baby. And this is just going to be really ironic because, he's trying to be the next Letitia James as the mayor, where he doesn't have that much power, in all honesty. And this is honestly just going to be one big fundraising opportunity for him to be able to bankroll his staff coming into next year.
Freddie, let's take this a little highbrow now. Let's get into the political philosophy of all this. Donald Trump and Zohran Mamdani are two symptoms of the same problem, isn't it? It is people that feel that they're not getting what they want from the system. The younger female, liberal educated people on the coasts have pivoted to the hard left, while actually people in poorer, less educated people in rural America are pivoted to the right, to Trump. But at the same time, it's basically two signs that the system isn't working, and people are actually looking for slightly things more outside the box, right? They've got so much to talk about.
Right, I'm not the arbiter of left-wing political philosophy, but I don't.
Well, you kind of are for tonight. For tonight, you are, I'm afraid.
He's a communist. I mean, he's in essence essentially a European social democratic municipal politician.
Here we go.
He has some very sort of minor policies that he wants to bring about, and there's clearly support for that in New York. I mean, on the Trump point, he definitely said during the campaign that he was going to engage with the president. He also said that he was going to focus on New York rather than engaging in this broader political battle with the office. So I don't think he will probably go into the Oval looking for some big theatrical victory, because as you said, that rarely happens for anyone but Donald Trump. But I mean, Harry, you're right. I mean, they both actually represent a similar type of politics. I was there at Zohran Mamdani's victory party, and I thought it was one of the best political.
Did you have to pay $13 for a beer? Nothing. I thought like everything was meant to be free under the communists.
It's New York, Harry. It's New York. It's the capital of capitalism. And they're similar communicators. These are the two politicians in America right now that have the most charisma. They're the ones that can speak to the moment. And remember, Trump might be the original populist, but we live in a populist age, and the left have their own too.
How useful is it for the Democrats, though, to have this guy who the president calls a communist? You dispute that. But it is obviously of the left to traditional Democrats. Barack Obama was probably the closest, most senior person that came close to endorsing him, but still stopped short of that. They spoke, but they didn't actually endorse. The sort of Democratic establishment have held him at arm's length. He's surrounded by some quite left-wing people. I don't think that's up for dispute. How damaging do you think it is for the Democrats outside of those coastal cities and liberal parts of the country to have their number one most successful elected politician right now being this guy?
Well, I think it's very good for them that they got a politician who engages with people. That's a different thing than saying that Democrats around the country should adopt his type of politics. They should probably adopt his mode of communication, but that doesn't mean that they advocate for the same things as he does. I mean, the Democratic Party and both parties in America are very dispersed. They're very decentralized in a way that isn't true in the UK. That allows them to have these different politicians, these different tribunes that can take their message to the electorate.
Tudor, I'm not sure if you're a betting woman or not, but do you think this ends in a Zelensky-style dust-up, or some sort of weird love-in? I'm starting to think it might just be a love-in. There's something. My spider senses are tingling that this could be one of the weirdest political meetings going.
My spidey senses say that he is going to be patting him on. Donald Trump will be patting him on the back, maybe tap him on the head a little bit.
A lot of grip and grin, the power, the power hugs, the patting on the back. Sort of try, they are, but you said earlier, they are both New Yorkers. They both love New York in different ways. Could this be a strange bromance?
I do think that Donald Trump will embrace the New York attitude and talk to him about what New York needs. But I think that he is not naive in any way about who Mamdani is. And the fact that Mamdani, he's not a lifelong New Yorker. He's not even a lifelong United States of America. He's not Donald Trump by any means. And I think, like I said, Donald Trump will be successfully schooling him and giving him an education on exactly how New York runs and exactly how the state of New York runs. He ran on things that he can't possibly do. And when you say that he's talking to people, let me push back a little bit on that, because he is only letting them hear what he has to say. I don't remember him going out on any podcasts or having long-form discussions or having long-form interviews. And when he did have interviews and he got asked about, well, you said this here and you changed your story there, he fumbled. He couldn't actually come up with any response to those questions. So, it's very similar to Kamala Harris from the standpoint of, if you don't have anybody actually talking back to you, then you can say whatever you want. But when you're asked questions and you can't answer, that's when the Democrats get caught up, and they just don't have somebody who's able to engage and have those ongoing conversations like that.
Sarah, what do you reckon? Is it gonna be fireworks? Is it gonna be must-watch TV? Is it gonna be box office, or is it gonna be something slightly stranger?
I have no idea, but all I know is CNN is not going to be airing it.
Why not?
It's just going to get embarrassing for him. I mean, you never know what Trump is going to do. You know, Mamdani is going to use it as political propaganda, and
I think Donald Trump might do something similar. Freddie, what's best case scenario for both of these people coming out of this?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure it will matter that much. I mean, this is going to be an ongoing relationship throughout Zoran's mayoralty. He will want to build a relationship. He'll want to protect the city from Trump's vengeance, as you put it, Harry, against the people of New York. I don't know. Let's see. We have no idea. We've not had that much briefing about it. We don't yet know the time. So let's see.
It does, yeah. It does seem to me that it feels quite fluid, and it might not actually. There was a sort of suggestion that actually that it wasn't quite as far over the line of agreed when Donald Trump, true to form, announced the meeting was happening on Truth Social. I think there may have been some details to hammer out. Tudor, I mean, final question. Is this going to be the sort of next big relationship for politics? Are we going to be talking about this, as Freddie says, these two sort of characters as the respective leaders of their movements in the run-up to the midterms? Or will the Dems, do you think, try to wrestle away that sort of status as poster boy?
Democrats don't want this. They want to have that moderate wing of the Democrat Party come back, or they wouldn't have elected President Biden, who they thought was going to be the moderate. And you can see kind of, as you look into 28, you've got Gavin Newsom, and then you've got Gretchen Whitmer, and you've got all these, and Josh Shapiro, all kind of battling for that moderate. Newsom is the progressive, but you haven't seen this type of talk from the others. So I don't think they want him by any means to be the star of their party.